code yellow. I repeat, code yellow. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Remember, if you like this kind of hybrid technical quantitative analysis, leave a thumbs up. Be subscribed by the end of the video if you aren't already, and let's go ahead and analyze these charts. So we made a previous video called code orange, which was when price crossed this 3 penny level or so, which corresponds to our second level, which is fit to our exponential regression curve, right? That's the red curve over here. We've gone over this many times. And this pink curve over here is essentially this curve multiplied by the level of overextension that it arrived at May of last year when we reached 60% of a penny. And all of these curves are in between points, okay? In between levels of overvaluation. Or fair valuation, you could call it, right? The green midline, you could call it. So we touched yellow, guys. That's why I'm making this video, code yellow, because we touched it. And it is approximately around the 6 penny region right now. You can go to LookIntoHex.com to view this real time, which, by the way, I've been tracking the analytics for LookIntoHex.com. Y'all, there have been over 2,000 page views in like less than a week. So I really appreciate all you guys sharing, checking out the site on the daily. Maybe it's one of your favorite HEX resources. Not gonna lie, I'm kind of bummed that hex.live is no longer up. But hey, hopefully this is a nice alternative to such a site, right? So code yellow, what does that mean? Well, I mean, look at this. This has just been moving straight up, right? We blasted through the orange. Something tells me this yellow may not provide as much resistance as we might think. And we've touched on the fact that these intermediate levels are more or less kind of arbitrary, right? This red curve is definitely mathematically significant. We've talked about this. The pink curve is maybe a little less so because it's fit to less data points, but it's also mathematically significant. Everything in between, slightly arbitrary. So take everything I say here with a grain of salt. But code yellow, we crossed the 6 penny region. All right, this is V1. Obviously, it lags a little behind actual price. If you check on Dex.vision, we are having a sort of like an indecision candle, but obviously we have like 3.5 more hours until this closes. And I don't know if you've been keeping up with the charts, but there have been a few days in the past week or so where we have these sort of candles, in the middle of the day, and then at the end of the day, it just goes back up to its previous all-time high. So I'm not saying that's going to happen, but we have momentum, and we've had dips along the way. At the end of the last video, we talked about the size of these dips, and let's go ahead and look at these again, just review real quick to see how far we've dipped on our way from 1.37 pennies or so all the way to the almost 7 penny region, which I believe we wicked up to like 6.9 on certain exchanges, okay? So if we just go ahead and look at some of these dips one more time, we look at what's happened in the past couple weeks. Look at the size of these dips, okay? So we've had an 18% dip, 33%, 30%, 20%, 25%, 23%. So anywhere from a 18 to 33% dip. We've had 6 of them, and we are currently in our 7th, which is actually only 18%. So of all these dips, the smallest one has been this one back here at 18.1%. And the current dip we're in is only about 18.7%. So it's actually smaller than the rest of these dips, where our biggest one was from about 3 pennies down to like 2 pennies, 33%. So what would that look like if we actually continued going down and had our 33% dip? That would put us at around the 4.5 penny region to levels not seen since 3 or 4 days ago. Okay? So remember, dips are part of the game. Dips are part of the game. Don't forget that. Don't be that guy who dumps his bag just because some billionaire tweeted some FUD, right? You know what I'm talking about. So, I mean, what else is there to say, right? Code yellow, we've crossed the yellow regression curve, okay? And We're currently in an 18.7% dip. So could this be a buying opportunity? Well, the last few times we've had 18 to 33% dips for all of May. Basically, May has been incredible for HEX price. Every single time we've had an 18 to 33% dip for the past 2 weeks has been a great buying opportunity. Not financial advice, your generic disclaimer for this video. I just wanted to point out that fact, right? That if you had bought at this dip, you would be up. If you had bought at this dip, you'd be up. This dip, you'd be up, and so on. It keeps going. So who's to say if you buy this dip, you won't be up, right? That's just my 2 cents on the matter, right? That's just my third of a hex on the matter. And if you look at, actually, let's go ahead and look at nomics, because I did see something kind of interesting, right? That it was a higher level yesterday than it was on the DEXs. And this brings up this interesting point. If you look at markets here, that on certain centralized exchanges, I'll just pick a random one for you here, like this centralized exchange right here, 7 pennies. Well, that's probably not a good idea because there's $2 of volume. But last night there were some great examples. They're not here anymore, but there were some great examples of some centralized exchanges trading HEX at a premium, and that makes sense given the gas prices on Ethereum right now. So if we go ahead and look up gas tracker ETH, we can see that, well, maybe it's not as bad as it was like a couple days ago, but this is still pretty bad. $74 for a swap. That's terrible. I don't want to do that. You probably don't want to do that. Okay. So Ethereum is not very what's the word? It's not practical to be swapping on Ethereum and using all these Ethereum functions when you're freaking paying an arm and a leg for every single one. And for that reason, if you're trading on centralized exchanges or swapping or whatever it is, buying, selling, then it makes sense that there would be a slight premium on centralized exchanges because fees are lower than Ethereum. It makes sense, right, that there would be a premium on centralized exchanges for the HEX price. And there isn't really an arbitrage opportunity because the Ethereum gas fees are so high. I can't wait for Pulse, man. I really can't wait for Pulse. These gas fees really suck. But a shorter video for today. I just wanted to update you guys on the regression rainbow and the fact that we did cross over the yellow. So what would it look like if we did to the yellow what we did to the orange back here literally like 10 days ago or so? Well, if we blasted right through it and reached the green level, which this doesn't look like it's ready to turn back anytime soon. Again, not financial advice, but this pretty much just looks like that, right? And it's hard to bet against momentum. So if we were to go to the green level in the near future, let's say May 25th or so, that would correspond to 11 penny hex. Okay, and that kind of converges with our 10-cent psychological level. Could we reach 10 cents? I mean, I'm already planning the 10-cent hex now what video in my mind. But, you know what, let's take things one step at a time, and I'll keep you updated on this market. But if we were to reach this level, this green level, it would correspond to about 10 or 11 penny hex. And I was watching one of my old videos the other day when I was saying, could this accumulation phase be over right here at around 1.5 pennies? And I said, you know what, it could be. And look at that. It was. Bragging rights are kind of nice. Hopefully I made you guys, or hopefully you guys made some money. I may or may not have had an influence on that. But I remember in that video, the reason I'm bringing this up is because I was saying in that video, what if we were to play out a similar fractal to back here? And I was talking really bullish numbers, which is kind of funny. When things get bullish, I kind of get a little more conservative. But hey, you know what? I was talking about in that video potentially reaching this this purple level, right? Because it really only took us about a month to go from yellow to pink. So could it only take us, you know, maybe 2 months, right? Because this played out about twice as slow as back here, the fractal we've been discussing. Excuse the noises. I'll probably end this video soon. So if it were to take us only 2 months to get to this purple level, after crossing the orange, that would correspond to July 13th. And what is the purple level at on July 13th? Well, lo and behold, it's at 58 cents or so. And again, 10,000x from the bottom, which is the design intention of HEX, is 56 cents. Could we fulfill our design intention of this cryptocurrency by July? Only time will tell. Only time will tell. But all I know is that I've been talking about and in HEX since the beginning, only publicly so on things like Instagram and Twitter, about around here somewhere, and then I transition into talking about it here on YouTube over here. So, and I don't plan on going anywhere anytime soon. So with that said, I appreciate you watching. Make sure to leave a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, turn on post notifications as well. I never asked for that, but I realize it's kind of important. So hit the bell, and I will catch you in the next video. Hopefully we see a video labeled Code Green soon. Appreciate you watching, and I'll talk to you soon. Peace.